Ota is the oldest tofu factory in America. And at this shop, they're slicing up 3,000 pounds of it a day. And that's Jason, a former pro baseball player who took over Ota 3 years ago. Jason learned how to hand mold tofu the traditional Japanese way from the original owners.
I put in 11 and 12-hour days, 6 days a week. So does my mom. Welcome to Ota Tofu. I get here at 2:30 in the morning, Monday through Saturday, make tofu and start the day.
The night before, workers pull out giant bags of soybeans sourced from Iowa.
And they're dried soybeans, so they are very hard. You could hardly break it with a hammer. When we soak them the night before, then they become really soft.
It takes 10 hours of soaking.
Depending on the temperature of the outside, we tend to soak them longer if it's colder or shorter if it's hotter. We want that pure white in the soybeans.
Cooks transfer the soft soybeans to one of 2 grinders.
We grind the soybeans, make a slush. Then we put it into our cookers, which cook to about 100 degrees Celsius.
Then the mixture flows through a giant pipe into a filtering bag in the pressing machine. This machine squeezes out the soy milk. The milk comes out the other end and drops into another filter.
So we double filter it to get as pure of soy milk as we can. People use it in baking recipes and stuff like that, but also we give it to farmers to feed their cows and pigs.
Some of the soy milk gets bottled by hand. It's sold across Portland, but the rest gets turned into tofu.
Our tofu is made out of 3 ingredients: soybeans, water, and coagulant. So we use our nigari, traditional Japanese coagulant. We can adjust the amount of coagulant that we use to make the firmness that we want. I will actually make a firm, so I'm gonna add some more coagulant because it could be separated from the curds in the water a little bit more. It's kind of like making cheese, right?
Like in cheese, the coagulant separates the whey, or liquid, from the proteins, which clump up into curds. That takes about 15 minutes. That scrambled egg-looking mixture is spooned into molds.
So now we just gotta press them into the firmness that we want.
It's pretty soft, almost like a waterbed.
We make medium, firm, and extra firm. It depends on how much water we squeeze out.
A hydraulic press then helps squeeze out the water. After it's pressed, Jason carefully flips the tofu into a giant bath. He slices it along the lines from the molds. Tofu headed to restaurants is placed in buckets. Blocks bound for stores get fished from the water and put in boxes.
From soaked soybeans to the final product, probably about an hour. Everything else is really controlled by hand.